Welcome to the set of Let's Talk About It with Catrice K. Today we are talking all things money. So get ready. We're going to teach you how to be wise with it, how to play with it, and how to live with it. To help me talk about this topic is my best friend, my best girl. Her name is Keli. I have met Keli in passing over the last 3 years, and we became like this. It's just been organic, easy. She's so talented. She's so beautiful. She's so smart. And I'm just so thankful that she decided to join me on today. Welcome, Keli.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. And Let's Talk About It with Catrice K, episode number 4. I hope you all got your money mojitos, honey, because that's what we sipping on today. The money mojito is Sprite or any lemon and lime soda, club soda, lime juice, fresh limes, fresh mint leaves. So grab your money mojito and let's talk all things money. Welcome, Keli.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you for being with me today.
Yeah, let's talk about money, whatever questions you have.
Yes.
Just want to make sure that we let the audience get in some awesome game.
Yes,
some tips.
Okay,
so
she dropping it all. Game tips. I hope y'all got y'all pen and pad because she not leaving nothing out on this episode. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, but most of all, we're going to educate you today. So don't please grab your pen and paper because we dropping gems today, baby. So Keli, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so been an accountant for many years. I'm a budget expert, and I actually became one because I was in a whole lot of debt.
Oh, wow.
A lot of debt, and I was able to climb myself out of it.
Okay.
And so, and it was over $100,000. Yeah.
And you was able to get yourself out of that?
Yes.
What time frame did it take you?
I think it was about 5 years. It took me about 5 years to get out of that.
Okay.
But what happened during that time is I did a lot of trial and error.
Okay.
I start off doing something this way, and then that wouldn't work. So I just kept, and then I finally found that way to be able to get past that. And so
you found your niche, basically.
I found my niche.
Mm-hmm.
And then what made me decide to help people with their budgeting is because, look, I was able to do it, and literally it has changed my life. And, now, I live below my means. I go where I want to go. I do what I want to do.
I love it.
And I just said, you know what? Why keep this knowledge? I mean, it's a disservice to not let people know how to be able to do it for them. And it can be, anyone can do this. This is not a trade secret. It's not you have to make a whole lot of money. I mean, it's all about discipline. And if you just get a plan, work your plan, you can accomplish it.
Oh, I love it. She's starting early, dropping gems. She ain't waste no time. And I absolutely love it. But before we get into all things money, let's take a cheers to episode 4 of Let's Talk About It with Catrice K.
Yes.
Welcome my guest, Keli. We're talking all things money. Cheers.
Ooh, that's got a nice bite to it.
So, thank you again for joining me. I asked my viewers, and this is this is how we're going to start this topic. I am going to ask Keli, and I also want you guys to put it in the comments. What does financial wellness mean to you, Keli?
So I knew you were going to ask me that, and I actually wrote something down because
You came prepared.
I came prepared because I did not want to miss out on this because this is very important.
It is.
So financial wellness is really having a positive relationship with money. And you got to have financial knowledge. So that means you got to know how to budget. You got to know how to save. You got to know how to invest. You have to know how to manage your debt, right? And then there's setting financial goals, right? So that's having an emergency fund. That is having a retirement fund. That is having, you do want to buy a home. What other things that you want to do? Like, what are your plans?
What are your goals?
What are your goals and your dreams? So, setting those goals, and then financial security, right? So those unexpected expenses. What if there's job loss? What if there's financial setbacks? What are you going to do about that? Because that's just life. I mean, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, if it's when.
It's when.
And how you prepare for those unexpected financial things.
Okay.
And then the most important thing is financial freedom, right?
Now that's me.
Financial freedom. Having the ability to make choices and pursue your financial goals without stress or limitation.
I love it. So basically, that's what financial wellness means to me. It just means having financial freedom for me to be able to do what I want when I want. And I had to worry about the burdens of, when my next paycheck is coming or where is the finances coming from. I just want that freedom to live the way I want.
Exactly.
Whether that's balling on a budget, whether that's, just whatever finance. I just want to be free. That's what I want. And that's what made me really want to take control of my finances.
Exactly. I mean, that's what we all want. And I think we just need to find what makes us happy. Yeah. And when we figure that out, then that's one thing about me is, I had the jewelry, the clothes, the cars, all that stuff.
Yes.
And realized that I didn't need it.
I
didn't need it. So I did not need it.
You did not need it. And so that's actually one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. What is a purchase that you regretted? Like you bought something and you woke up one day and then you was just like, you know what? I don't even want that. Why did I buy this? Or do you have one of those?
It's so many. I mean, purses. I mean, I remember I bought this Louis Vuitton bag.
Okay.
And I think it cost about $3,000.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Balling, baby.
And do you know, about a year later, I had like cut marks in that purse. And I'm like, why is this purse damaged? I spent all this money for it. And I just was like, you know what? I'm not, I have enough Gucci's that I bought 10 years ago. And I'm not buying another fancy bag. I'm just not. Okay. And the crazy thing about it is I do a lot of traveling. So I have a travel purse.
She's a travel queen and I love it.
So I have a travel purse. I actually have it right here. Literally that's been my purse. And because I'm always going somewhere anyway, so I don't really, I haven't changed my purse out. So literally I'm walking around with a $15 bag.
The same thing, but you probably got 15,000 in it. Check it, okay? Probably got 15,000 in it in a $15 bag. Okay, check it. So Kelly, why is budgeting so important, especially in today's economy?
Budgeting is so important because you have to know where your money is going. Okay. Because if you don't, then your money is going to dictate where it's going to go. So that's how you control. And you have to say, okay, I'm going to spend my money on this. I'm going to spend my money on that. And then that's how you budget, is you say, oh, my mortgage is this, my utilities is this, my car payment is this. And, this is my miscellaneous budget. And you really have to kind of stick with that, because if you don't, like we all know, look, that money, it flies away. You're like, wait, where did it, like, wait a minute.
Where did it go?
And it's because you have not told your money where to
it's
go.
going.
Exactly.
So I think I agree with you on that. Budgeting is so important because you just want to track your expenses. You want to track what's coming in, and in that way you feel better knowing where your money is going. I mean, I'm quite sure we all wake up, have a day that we woke up and was like, oh, I had $200 yesterday. Where did it go? And that's literally what happened if you don't budget. You would just spend, and have no track of where that money is going.
Yeah.
One of the stories, I one day my bills were just so overwhelming that I had to write my bills down in order to keep track with them. And I went to a financial advisor and I told him, I said, I need help, tracking my money and tracking what I'm spending. And he said, you already created a budget. So I created a budget without even knowing that I had a budget, only because I was just trying to keep track of the bills monthly.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's something that a lot of people struggle with. Mm-hmm. So when you don't know where your money is going, and you either have a spending problem or you have an income problem. Yes. Okay. And so you have to figure that out.
I got both.
Okay. No, you have to figure that out. And when I mean a spending problem, that means that you make enough money to pay your mortgage and all your bills, but you just never seem to have enough money. It's because you're spending money on hair, nails, vacations, food, going out to eat, so you're spending way too much money on those type of things.
Yeah.
Stuff that you can cut. Mm-hmm. So that's having a spending problem. So that is fixable.
Yes.
Now, some have an income problem where all of their bills, they just don't make enough. And so when you figure out if you have a spending problem or if you have an income problem, then you can kind of fix it. If it's an income problem, then we got to figure out how we're going to get more income or how we're going to cut some of those expenses. So that is going to be the key to figure out your financial situation is which one do you have, a spending problem or an income problem?
Okay. Put it in the comments which one you have. I already told you I have both. But that's okay. That's why we got Keli on here, because I'm sure once she leaves this episode, I am going to have the tools I need to live wisely with my money. And I hope you guys do the same. So what are some of the common mistakes people make when they budget?
Common mistakes is credit cards. So they are using credit cards as like part of their income. So if something comes up or they want to buy something, they'll go to a credit card and they really don't know how much their spending is because they're relying on that. So I would say that's probably one thing that people kind of have a problem with as far as that whole budgeting piece.
Let me clarify. So basically they're adding credit. So how should they look at credit? Credit is not part of their income. It's means of.
So what I've found happening with people is they have a spending / income problem. So if they don't have enough money in their bank account and they're ready to go out to eat or something like that, then they'll put it on a credit card. So actually what they're doing is just say their expenses, their income is just say $5,000 a month. Okay. But they're spending $6,000 a month because they're using that credit card to kind of help pay for
their lifestyle.
Exactly. Oh, and so that's what I mean is that is a mistake that people make is they are using their credit card to kind of live their lifestyle that they want to live, and then they don't really know what they're spending their money on or how much money they're making. Well, they know how much they're making, but it all comes to a halt when you're at that credit card limit. Yeah. And now you have a credit card payment that you just added to your bills.
So basically they're increasing their debt.
Exactly.
But not increasing that income.
Exactly.
So your advice would be to use credit cards wisely. Or, because that's actually a question that I was going to ask you.
Yeah. So you have to be very, very disciplined with credit cards. Like, I know me, I'm not disciplined with credit cards. I can't use them. I mean, I can't, because it's, when I use a credit card, I don't feel like that I'm spending any money.
Okay.
And so, but if you are disciplined, you know, there's the points. People use credit cards for points. That if you can use it and then you pay it off immediately, then that's being responsible. So if you go out to eat, you just spent $50 on dinner, and then you go and take $50 out of your bank account and pay that statement, then that's fine. But what's happening is we're using those credit cards, and, you know, now we're in credit card debt. So that's why I said, I know you have to know yourself. I'm not disciplined when it comes to credit cards.
Okay.
I'm not. So I know I can't use them.
So would you say credit cards are a smart tool or a trap?
Again, you know, getting back to what I said, you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself. Most people, it's a trap. Yeah. Because it doesn't even feel like you're spending money. You just when you swipe, you just swipe and nothing comes out of your bank account. You just see the statement, you know, whatever. It's
like a short feel good moment. Like, you swipe, you have the purchase that you want, you see your purchase, you feel good about that purchase, and then now you just increase in debt. That's how I feel when I think about credit cards. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, me and credit cards, no, leave me away from credit cards.
Yeah, I know. You have to know yourself. I just know I can't do credit cards, because it's like every time, and look, I'm a budget expert, debt eliminator, wealth builder, and I have problems. I know what to do, and I know I have problems with credit cards. So I know I only use them for, like, if I'm going to be traveling, you know, overseas or something like that. It just makes it easier, you know, buying something online, you know. So I just act, you know, I have them like in a wallet in my drawer. Yeah. I don't even carry them in my purse, you know. So because I just know that I'm me personally, I can't.
Let me know how you feel about credit cards, and how many do you have? So, okay, so we are basically, we moving right along, and I actually love the conversation. I hope you guys are really paying attention and getting these tips that Keli is putting down. So we talked about budgeting, and we talked a little bit about credit cards. So on the topic of budgeting, what do you recommend that people can track their spending effectively? Is there an app? Like me, I write my things down.
Yep. So I'm old school as well. Yeah. Carl, that's my husband. He laughs at me because, like, literally I have a notebook and I write stuff down, March, all the bills, and then I check mark when it's paid, you know. So I'm Keli, you are literally my sister.
Yes. I do the exact same thing. Yes. I cross it out, paid.
Yes, that's what I do. But I do have an electronic budget tool that I am going to be sharing with your viewers. So it's on Excel. It has a budgeted side and it has an actual side. So what I would like for you to do is, I'm going to be sending this to you. You send it to your viewers. It will be posted.
Yes. Thank you, Keli.
So your fixed items, your mortgage is the same, you know, car payment is the same. So, you know, those things, we know those are, you know, our fixed items. But then our utilities, they're pretty much, you know, they go up and down, but we kind of have an idea of what they are. So you have a budget of what all of your spending is, and then you have to go back and go through your bank statements and start and say what you actually spent. So if you're budgeting $400 in food, and then you go back and you look at your bank statements and you're seeing you swipe that card so many times, and you got bank statements and credit card statements. You anywhere that you're using those that you're spending, you got to go back and put that in. And so then now that's going to be eye opening for you. So now you're going to see, okay, and food is the culprit. Like going out to eat, I'm telling you that right there. If you focus on that you are going to find so much money in your spending by your food budget. That's what, everyone that I've worked with, I'm like, let's look at that food. That's how we're going to cut your spending down.
Woo!
Is that
she preaching. So me personally, I don't go out to eat often, but I will go to BJ's probably once a week, and I'll spend $500 just on snacks that's in the house. And that's my guilty pleasure. When I come home, I like to have the things that I like. So I know I don't need to spend that much money at the grocery, but I do. So that's something Keli is going to help me with. And the budgeting tool, I hope it help you guys too, to kind of like track your spending, because I want us to all have this financial freedom. We deserve it, and we work hard, and we need to know where our money is going, and it should benefit us, right?
Absolutely.
So that's something that I'm doing. I hope you guys join me on that. Okay, so that's something that she recommends for tracking your budget, is that budgeting tool that she's going to share with you guys. How much should people aim to save each month? You know,
it's all going to depend. But your goal should be to save something. Save something. If it's $10, if it's $20, if it's $5, save something and be consistent. And I'm sorry, you can save $10. I mean, just when you're on your way home and you're seeing McDonald's and you're thinking you're gonna stop and get you a milkshake, that's $5. Just keep on going home and find something in your refrigerator. Look, I just found some money for you. So that's my thing is, and then when you're consistent with that, and if it's every time you get paid or once a month, just be consistent and get that number. And if you can be consistent with $10, then squeeze a little more. Let's try to go up to 25.
I love that.
And see how
try it.
And see how that works, right?
Okay.
And then keep going a little bit more until it starts to hurt. And you're like, oh. Like, okay, all right, pause. No, yeah. Okay. So that's my thing is, I don't want people to say, oh, if I'm not saving, $100 a month, or if I'm not saving $500 a month, then it's not worth it. It is like, just
and I
be
think that's how I
consistent.
feel. I feel like, it's only $10. Why should I save $10? But I think what Keli is trying to say, those $10 add up. Right?
It does. Okay. It does. But the biggest thing is the consistency, and it's doing it every month, and it's getting that habit. So you're building that habit of saving. Okay. So if it's $10, hey, you've been building that habit, and then you'll increase it.
I love it. Yeah. I love it, Keli. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really try, and I'm gonna get the whole house. I'm gonna get the entire household on just saving. If it's $5, $10, $20, $100, because I know we can do it. I mean, we go out. Walking out that door costs you $10.
Yes, it does.
Getting in your car costs you $20. So I can save that just by staying in the house. Okay. So I really appreciate those simple first step financial, things that we could do to kind of like track our spending and, focus on our budgeting. I appreciate those simple first steps that anyone can take. So let's just move right along.
Okay.
I hear a lot of people say, I'm a single mother, and or I'm a single father. It's just not enough. I can't save. I can't budget. I'm just living.
All right. So with that, sometimes you have to get a little uncomfortable in order to be able to meet your goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I say that is, maybe you have to move in with someone,
mm-hmm.
save some money like that. If
mm-hmm.
you can't afford to live by yourself,
mm-hmm.
then you are going to have to make a sacrifice
mm-hmm.
to be able to achieve your goals. Because if you have an income problem and you just don't make enough money, then you have to make some drastic changes to your spending. And so it's going to be uncomfortable,
mm-hmm.
but you have to think about it. It's only temporarily. So you have to make just these small changes, and people, you don't have to explain to anybody what
mm-hmm.
you're doing. You know what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when they see you on the other side, they're gonna be like, oh, you just bought a house.
Living comfortably.
Oh, you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're doing that.
But it does take sacrifice.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. And the thing is, a lot of us are not willing to do that. So, I'll tell a story about myself. So when me and Carl first got married, our finances were in shambles. Okay,
mm-hmm.
They were. I'm sorry, Carl. I'm putting our business out there,
but it's for a greater good.
But they were.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to do something. We had to, we were like, we gotta figure this thing out, because we had been married a year. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do? And so we decided, okay, well, we're gonna make a sacrifice. We're gonna move to a less expensive housing,
mm-hmm.
and be able to pay that. So it was, at the time, it was 2012. The housing market was in the toilet, and we were able to buy a house, move-in ready, for $35,000.
Oh, look at God. That's beautiful.
So borrowed some money from my 401k, bought the house in cash,
mm-hmm.
and so now we didn't have that house
overhead. Mm-hmm.
So we took that, paid down debt, and it took us 3 years. Mm-hmm. We were in that house for 3 years. And after that, we bought the house that we're in now,
mm-hmm.
and we actually turned that house into a rental. So it became,
extra income.
Extra income.
Just by you taking a step and taking control of your finances, you were able to have some type of financial freedom.
Exactly.
Just by taking a little sacrifice. That is a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that.
It took us, it was 3 years. We stayed in the house for 3 years. And that house, we ended up turning it into a rental,
mm-hmm.
and we had a renter in there, and then we ended up selling it a couple of years ago. So we bought it for $35,000. We sold it for $160,000.
Ooh. So listen, when I first met Kelly, I told her I want to be like her when I grow up. She's literally my big sister, and she's such an inspiration. And when she first met me and I told her how much my monthly expenses were, her mouth dropped. Okay. But I want to tell you, I have cut that by 1/3. It's not that much anymore.
That's wonderful. Yeah. I'm so proud of you.
Because I literally felt like a fish in water. When you have so much overhead, it's so uncomfortable. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation with Kelly, because just by that night of us having a cocktail, she encouraged me to take control of my finances. So I wanted that for my viewers as well. So thank you for that. And I'm also going to tell a story about me. I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was single at the time. I was raising my daughter, Leah, and I was working at an assembly plant. I hated it. I hated my job. I hated going to that job every day. But I had a daughter. I had a home. I had a car payment. So I couldn't just quit, right? Because I had to take care of the bills. But I knew I wanted something more for myself and my daughter. So back to what Kelly was saying about, just being uncomfortable and sacrificing a little bit. So I enrolled in school. It was a sonography program, and I had to work midnights because I had a daughter. So I worked midnights. I went to school in the daytime, and I was a mother the hours that I could be, right? But it was a sacrifice, and listen, listeners, it was hard. But the life that I was living, I knew that couldn't be my life forever. So I took the necessary, and don't forget praying, baby. Don't forget being on my knees, asking God to get me through, because working a full-time job, raising a child, and going to school was hard. But I knew I had to do something to change our situation, right? So fast forward to today. I live comfortably. I have a job where I could take care of my family. Thank God I do have a significant other, my husband. So it's two of us in the household. But I do take pride in saying, if it's just me, I can hold it down. Okay. So that's my story. That's how I dug myself out the hole that. But throughout the years, it's still been challenges. It's still been things where we had to adjust and move things around to make sure that we were financially comfortable, So it don't stop. So yeah, just stay on top of it, guys. If I could do it, you could do it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you shared that, because a lot of times, you're just living. You don't you're not even thinking, because you're just so caught up in that. I got to pay these bills. I got to go to work, and you're just in this cycle and
the rat race.
And you just have to something's got to give, right? Something's got to give. So one thing that I want to leave with your listeners is you have your paycheck and you're paying everybody, and then you're left with nothing. I encourage everyone to pay yourself first. Pay yourself first, whatever it is. I mean, you have to keep something for yourself. Those bills, they gonna get paid, okay?
Okay.
If you gotta put a little bit on it until you can figure it out. But there is absolutely no reason why you wake up and you work 40, 50 hours a week and you have nothing, because everything is going to everyone else. So I encourage whatever it is, because I mean, you're worth it. You have to pay yourself first.
And I agree with her. So that's going to bring me to my next question. What is like your splurge item? What is something that you buy for yourself? Like you said, we work every day, and you just take a little bit for you. What is that item? Or is it an item? Or is it a vacation? Or
yeah, so
what is your splurge?
So it's not an item. I'm an experienced person over things. That's my whole thing, and I'm a huge traveler. That brings me joy. That makes me happy. I would have a whole lot more money if I wasn't a big traveler, but I have never regretted
taking that vacation,
spending money on going anywhere. I've never regretted that. I've regretted buying that $3,000 Louis Vuitton purse that tore up in a year. I've regretted buying cars that that broke down on me, but I was looking good driving in it. All of that stuff. Those things I regret, but I have never regretted spending money on a vacation. But that's just me. I think you just have to figure out what is that thing for you. I mean, if it's if it's your hair, if it's your nail, like you see, I don't wear nails. I can't, because I wear contacts and I'll be poking myself in the eye and scratching my eyes out. So I can't wear nails, but they're beautiful though. I wish I could. Yeah. But I just can't. That. So whatever it is that you. And to me, that's traveling. But I'd rather spend my money there. Some people, they want to, their house is their sanctuary. So, they want to spend all of their money in their home because, they entertain there and this is what they want. So I don't want to tell people what they should spend their money on. Mm-hmm. But I think that you just need to figure out what makes you happy. And I think, to me, I live in a decent home. I mean, if you drove past it, you're like, oh, she has a nice house, but you're not gonna be like, oh my God, look at her house.
Yeah,
that's fine. I mean,
it's comfortable and it's for you.
It's comfortable and it's for me. Mm-hmm. But some people, they want that jaw dropping, 6,000 square foot home. I love it. I just know that that's not me. I just know that's not me because, I'd rather have 2 or 3 homes than vacation homes. Okay. Right. I'd rather, you spent, that on one house and I have 3, whatever. It's okay. But
whatever makes you happy. And I know y'all see me doing this. So this is my happy. I spend my money. I gotta have bundles. Like, okay. This is my go-to. I do it myself though, but
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I do it myself, okay. But I'm gonna buy me some bundles. I'm sorry, and the bundles are like $300.
Right, but that's fine.
So this is my guilty pleasure, and that's what I spend my money on. But I'm in a house. I don't go out to eat too much, and I'm like Keli. I'm like when she mentioned the house. I like for my house to look good. I kind of consider myself an interior decorator.
Okay.
In my past life, like I walk in somebody's house and I'm like, oh, I love it. I could just put a picture here. Ooh, a chair would look so nice there. I think I should add a little yellow there. So those are my 2 things: the house and my hair.
Okay, and that's fine. Everyone has what it is, and viewers, I want you to figure out what is it for you. I mean. And maybe
do that.
And maybe you have to think about it. Maybe you think it is, because I mean, I did at one point. I did want this, that, and the other, but then I realized that, I mean, after a while, it gets old and it's not as shiny and new as it used to be. And then, now you're like searching for that new thing, right? Mm-hmm. And you're just always searching for something instead of just saying, you know what, I'm content, with what I have.
What I have. And I must say at 44, I'm at that stage too, but it was a point in my life where I wanted the it things. I wanted to be at the it party, and I wanted to, just be in the in crowd. With the Louis bags and the Gucci bags. And I ain't down in it. If you got it, baby, listen, by all means. I'm just saying it's not for me. I want the financial freedom, and that's what's more important to me. Instead of spending that, like Cash Out say, don't go spending your money on the bag if you can't put a bag in it, right? So those are just my rules to life. And even if I had it, I still ain't spending it. I'm gonna put it in my bank account.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, once you get to once you get your savings account to what
a level you want
to the level that you're comfortable with, and you're investing and you're doing all those things. Then I mean, if it's buying the Louis bag or whatever, that's fine.
If it makes you happy.
If it makes you happy, but definitely let's make sure that our house is in order.
Smart choices
before we start doing those type of things.
So I'm happy you brought up investing, because that was like one of my next questions for you.
Okay.
When should people start thinking about investing?
You really should start thinking about it now. I mean, because time is on your side. Mm-hmm. And even if you don't have that much, I mean, remember I mentioned, if it's $10 for your savings, mm-hmm. You can do something similar like that right now. So back in the day, long time ago, let's say like the 70s and the 80s, if in order to buy a stock, you had to buy stock in 100 shares.
Mm-hmm.
So that was making investing difficult for the common person.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that has all changed. I mean, there's some platforms like E-Trade, you have to buy at least one share.
Okay.
You know, but there are platforms right now, like Stash is one, where you if you just have, I think their minimum might be $5. Okay. You can buy, you buy a portion of the stock. So if Apple is going for, $200 a share and you only have $5, well, you can buy, $5 worth of Apple. And so now you are investing.
And you're building your
portfolio. And you're building your portfolio. And you might say, well, I don't even know what to invest in. Like, that's so foreign to me. I like to look at it as, invest in companies that you do business with. So now that instead of you being a consumer, you're more of an owner. So, so if you are going into Kroger every week buying your groceries, well, you need to own some Kroger stock. So every time you walk in there and you see in this crowd, you're like, okay, all right, good. Give me my dividends, give me my money, instead of you going in like, oh, I gotta buy this and buy that. So you're changing your mindset. To being more of an owner than more of a buyer. And if you're going to Starbucks and buying that coffee, same thing. You see that line out the door. Okay, well, I need to own some of that. So what I like people to do is, I like grab a notebook and use this exercise and write down everything that you do in that day. So when you wake up and and first thing you do, you grab your phone. I'm team iPhone. So look, you need to have Apple in your portfolio. Okay. And then you get up and then you walk and you start to brush your teeth and you're brushing your teeth with some Colgate. You should have Colgate in your portfolio, right? Hopping in the shower, you washing your body. Okay, you got that Dove soap going on. Okay, well, you need to own some Procter and Gamble. Okay, all right. And so now you hopping in your car. You driving a Mercedes. You better have some Mercedes stock. Go to the gas station, fill that tank up. BP oil. You better have you some BP oil stock. So on your way to work, you grab you a Starbucks on the way. You better have you some Starbucks stock. So I'm just giving you, this is something you can do. Write down everything that you do and see, are they publicly traded? Can I own some of this? So now, instead of you being a consumer, now you're an owner in everything that you do.
And I think that'll change your mindset, because it's just hearing her talk, my mindset has changed. I can't wait to grab my notebook too. I say I did this and this and this. So listen, one more time. What's the name of that app?
Stash. Stash. Stash.
I'm gonna put it in the comments as well.
And you know what? And I have a referral link that I will drop in the comments. If you sign up, they will give you $25 worth of stock. So you can, for free. So
for free.
I'm going to drop that link in there so you can go ahead and start your financial journey right away on me. On me. Give me
big sis.
Right.
That's my big sister, y'all. I love it. Okay. Moving right along, because some people confuse investing and saving. Is it the same, or is it two different?
It's different. So savings is, first of all, you got to have your emergency fund. So that $1,000 for emergencies. All right. So that you get that up, and then now it's time to go to the next step in your savings. So you need to save up, if it's, how stable is your employment? So if your employment is pretty stable, you probably want to have 6 months of living expenses in a savings account. If it's still, I don't know, maybe about 9 months. So once you get to that point where You add up all your monthly bills. You have that in your savings. Now you can jump into investing. So once you reach to that point, we're still every month we got this money. It's got to go somewhere, and so then that's when we step to investing. But for our viewers, I want them to invest and save simultaneously, because I don't want you to miss out on that time, because having that, being able to take advantage of those, the dividends, and it's on the top of my head, I can't think of it, but where your money, you have time for your money to grow. So there's this exercise when I do a budgeting training for college students. I really like to get them, because there is no reason why, if you're 19 years old, 20 years old, that you cannot retire a millionaire.
This was going to be my next question.
Yeah, there's no reason why. So you literally, because you have time on your side, if you start investing, let's say $100 a month.
Listen, young people.
$100 a month, and you start from 19 to 30, and you stop, and you don't put another dime in there, and it's an investment account, and now it's going to keep growing and growing and growing, right? You don't have to put another dime in there, and it'll just keep growing. And now you have time on your side. Do you know that you can have more money than somebody starting at 30 years old trying to catch up to you? So at 19, and you can stop investing at 30. And at 65 years old, you can be a millionaire. From somebody starting at 30 to 65. Look how many years from that 30-year-old to that 65-year-old. That 19-year-old can have more money, and they only invested for just a short period of time. And it's all because of because you got time on your side. That money has time to grow. So that's why I want to encourage young people to start now, be consistent, invest something. If the whole stock thing confuses you, you can invest in mutual funds. You can invest in the S&P 500. It's like an index fund. So what that means is, and mind you, I'm not giving you any investment advice, okay? So I don't want anybody saying
quoting her. Yeah.
I don't want anybody saying Kelly told me to buy S&P 500 and now you know if I'm just giving you some suggestions. Do your own research, okay?
Okay.
But so S&P 500 is the stock market. So it's the 500 top 500 companies, and you're investing if it goes up or if it goes down. So if you don't understand, I'm buying Apple, I don't know, or if I'm buying Amazon, I don't know. If you just say, okay, you know what, if you know you at the end of the day it says, oh, the market is up by 100 points. If you invested in that S&P 500, then all right, my portfolio is going to be up. So I just want people to do something and do something now, and it can be $10. It can be Stash lets you invest $5. I mean, you got $5. But we do. But you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent. Every month, put it on automatic. You know, if you know you get paid every 2 weeks, then let it be automatically taken out of your account every 2 weeks. Or if it's the 15th of the month, or however it is, but you want to make it automatic. Be consistent. Be consistent.
So that is her advice for the young, to our young generation. What would be your advice to your seniors? How can they, if they started in their 60s, if they just started to, want to take control of their financial health, what would be your advice to them?
It's never too late.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, obviously, if you start earlier, it's better, but it's not too late. Like, I don't want people to say, oh, you know, it's too late, and they throw their hands up. I mean, you can start now, and you can start doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when you start seeing, you know, that you know, your account's going up, and you're going to start feeling good, and you know, that's what I want people to do. One thing I want to make sure that I mention this, is if you have some type of retirement account at your job, a 401k, 403b, if you work for a nonprofit, and your employer has a matching contribution,
mm-hmm.
at minimum, you should be investing in that. I don't want to hear, oh, I need all of my money. I don't want to hear that, because let me tell you, you get used to whatever your paycheck is after a while, and it's not that much. But if your employer wants to help you invest for your future,
mm-hmm.
and you cannot afford not to invest in your future.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage, if anyone has any type of retirement account at their job and you are not investing in your 401k, 403b plan, go right now or on Monday morning or something and look into that. Mm-hmm. Look into that. I mean, there's the rumor that Social Security is not going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be reduced. You know,
mm-hmm.
I mean, we might not get the 100%, but maybe it'll be 60% of that check. I don't want that to, you know, you to be focused on that. That's all that I'm going to be able to have. I mean, you need to start thinking about your future.
Mm-hmm.
Young, old, you know, whatever your age is, you have to start thinking about that. Are you going to work forever? Who wants to work forever? I mean, look, I'm ready to sail off into the sunset. Okay.
I don't want to go to work Monday. What's today?
I am ready to sail off into the sunset. Okay?
I am, and we are, sis. We are working job or no job. We going on the sunset cruise. Okay. So we talked about budgeting. We talked about saving. We talked about our seniors. We talked about our youth. Let's touch on a little bit what a lot of people don't want to talk about, what scares a lot of people, mm-hmm. the credit score. How important is it?
Oh, goodness. This credit score is so important. And let me tell you why. Because it's your borrowing power. Okay, so if you have bad credit, they're going to give you a car loan, but it's going to be 10, 15%. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, and if you want to buy a house and your credit is, I think the minimum score is maybe 640 to buy a house. Mm-hmm. They're going to let you get the house. Well, they might not let you get the house, but I mean, your interest rate is going to be ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And if your credit is good, your interest rate is lower. So mm-hmm. You mentioned that. So, just say you're in the market of buying a car. The car is $30,000, mm-hmm. and you got good credit. So now your interest rate is going to be around probably 3%. Mm-hmm. So on a $30,000 car, your car note is going to be about $540 a month. Mm-hmm. So now let's just say you got bad credit, and now your interest rate is at 10%. Mm-hmm. So now that that same exact car, the same car you getting, mm-hmm. Twin cars, it's going to cost someone with bad credit, and 10% is nice. I mean, I've seen it at 15. It's going to cost you $637 a month. So that's $100 more a month, $1,200 more a year. I don't know. I mean, what can you do with $1,200? I think I'd go on vacation. Do a lot.
I could do a whole lot. Right. And I you know, I hate it, but it's really something that you need to know, and it's something you need to think about when going to purchase big items. Should I buy this item now, or should I use that money to work on my credit and then go back and make that purchase when you have a better credit score.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that's the smarter option. If you could wait, work on your credit, and then go back to that dealership and negotiate your deal.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can refinance the
refinance. Yeah,
but the problem is you're paying that higher rate, and so you might not have the funds to do
save.
That.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, credit score is big because now you're paying more money because you weren't being responsible. And I know a lot like, oh, I'm just going to give them this or whatever. I mean, it is so important. Young people, just take care of your credit.
Take care of your credit.
Because I'm telling you, like, you go down that road. I mean, I hear about, young people paying, $400 a month for a car, and the car is 10 years old and on the verge of breaking down. And it's because, they just needed a car to get to work. So yeah, we have to take care of our credit because that is how we're going to be able to, I mean, it makes no sense. The same exact item, same exact house, same exact car, someone with good credit, someone with bad credit, you're paying two different prices. And just say we make the same amount of money. So look what more I can save. There's more things I can do with just paying a different interest rate.
I know. That's some good advice, y'all. So do what you want with that information. But if it was me, I will wait until I have the better credit score before I make big purchases. Okay, so speaking of credit, the debt to ratio.
Okay. So I like that 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for, I think debt management or something like that. I mean, that's fine. That's a good that's a good tool to use. Just so, but what if that's not the case? I mean, what if you're you just have to spend a little bit more on housing or whatever the case may be? I mean, that's a good guide. And that 50, that's like kind of the whole budgeting thing. I know I like to use a zero budget method because again, you're telling your money where it's going. Okay. So write down what my pay is, how much my bills are, what I have left, and see if I don't tell that what I have left. If I don't tell it where to go, like if I don't sweep it into savings or go somewhere else, that's it there. It's going to go on food, clothes. So now that access that I had is gone because I didn't tell it where to go. So that's why I like to use the zero budget method, because I want my money, and once I have that access, it goes to savings or it goes to investing. It does not sit there, because if it sits there, I'm like, we got some money extra. We got some money in the account. You want to go over to this comedy show? You want to do this? Yes. And because the money is just sitting in the account versus, okay, we do have an entertainment account, so okay, we have $200 for entertainment, and once it's gone, okay. All right, cut the TV on, cut Netflix on. We're gonna be sitting right at the house.
That takes a lot of discipline. Yeah, I'm super proud of you. What are some of the tools that help you stay this? Because me, I'm an impulse shopper. If I see it, I want it. So you know that about you. So that's the thing is knowing yourself. So what you have to do when you're that impulse shopper, you have to put it in your in your cart, and then come back a day later, and if you still want it, okay, get it. But if you thought about it, you slept on it, and be like, I don't even need that.
So
that has happened to me though.
So that's what I want you to work on is those impulse things, because I can be like that too. Like, oh, I want it, I'm getting it, So if you sleep on it and you know that you still want it the next day, then
okay, I was sleep on it. Ooh, that cart about $5,000 upstairs. So, okay, Kelly, I appreciate all those tools, all that insight. I hope you guys had an e-pen and you was writing stuff down. So, let's circle back a little bit.
Okay.
So, what is the biggest financial lesson you've learned the hard way?
Oh, you just don't need some of the stuff that you buy. Also, this is the biggest thing is when you're the successful person in your family, and when you have like all your family, asking for this and asking for that. I was fortunate. I got the red light. Got the light bulb went off on my head a long time ago. So I've trained my family, like they know. Don't even come this way. Nope. The answer is no. Don't even come. And it's because, I want to live my life. Yeah. Right.
And you deserve.
And I work hard. So when you work hard and you want to live your life, you should be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. 100%. Instead of feeling like, oh, I have this family member or that family member, and then they're making you feel bad. And so now you're not only taking on your emergencies, you're taking on their emergencies too. So now that has taken away from you getting closer to your financial goals. And look, I promise you, they'll find a way. They'll find somebody else to give to. Just don't let it be you.
Oh, preach! Drop that jewel, girl. Yes, don't let it be you, y'all.
Don't let it be you. They'll be fine. I've so many people. Oh, you don't give me this, I'm gonna be evicted, and I'm like, sorry. Look, I'm not getting into all of that. And next month, I'm like, you still in your house, yo? Because now
they got
Well, no. The thing about it is
they'll find a way.
I don't want to say. I will say this:
you're
throwing money at a bad situation. So I don't want people to think that I don't help people. I do help people.
She do,
but I will help.
This is help.
I will help people if I knew giving you $2,000. That's the hump that you need, and after that you're gonna be smooth sailing. You'll be perfectly fine. Look, I'll give it to you, and you have to give it back. Go ahead, live your life. But I know if I give you this $2,000, 3 months from now you're gonna be back asking me for money. So I just gave my good money and put it at a bad situation, and put a Band-Aid on a bad situation. And I don't do Band-Aids.
Yeah. So one of my something that I learned the hard way is just living beyond my means. I know I can't afford it, but I'll still buy it.
Okay.
So that is something that I had to work on. Just staying within my budget, staying on my level, my financial level. So that is something that I had to learn the hard way. Okay, so this is going to be our last tough question, because I really want you guys to get it, and then we're going to just have a little fun. We're going to have a what you call it, like a fast round. I'm going to ask Kelly some really tough questions really fast. She can't think. She's just going to have to answer flash round. But before we get into the fun, another serious question. Okay, how can people start to tackle the debt?
I like to use what I call the snowball method. Okay, so you're getting all of your debts, you're lining them up, and you're tackling the smallest one first, because you have to celebrate those quick wins, you know. So if you're overwhelmed, if you're in a lot of debt, start with the smallest one. I actually have a debt eliminator worksheet. I will also share that with the viewers.
Okay.
So what it does is you can put in how much you owe, put in what your monthly payment is on, you know, for whatever that credit card is, put in the interest rate, and then how much extra you can kind of put towards it, and then you can number, you know, I want to tackle this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it will actually tell you, you know, if you pay this amount of money, you know, then this will be gone in 3 months, and then the next one will be gone. So you will be totally out of debt in, you know, 2027 or something like that. So it actually will kind of schedule things out for you. I will also share that with
oh, thank you, Kelly. And like she said, it took her 3 years to tackle her debt, but the 3 years are up and she's out of debt. So I know 3 years sound like a long time, but if you want to have that financial freedom, you have to start. Don't look, you know, just start. Don't look at, you know, how long it's going to take me to finish, or 3 years is a really long time. Just focus on your goal, tackling that goal, and doing what you have to do to make sure that you complete your goal. Yes. So let's do this lightning round real fast.
I didn't know about the lightning round.
I want you guys to also comment in the your comment in the chat. All right. So what's one thing you refuse to spend money on?
Clothes.
Okay. What's your biggest money regret?
Credit cards.
So that's on cash or credit?
Cash.
Okay, she got it. She's doing the check, getting it right back. What if you get a surprise $500? What are you buying?
Saving it. I don't need anything.
Okay, best purchase under $20.
I don't know. I don't know.
Under $20. Wine.
Okay, wine.
Okay, because we have wine down Wednesday, y'all.
We do.
Okay. What is your guilty pleasure?
Oh, reality TV.
Okay, I like it. If your bank account could talk, what would it say?
Okay, we in there. We good. We real good.
Okay. I like it. Investing is it investing exciting or terrifying?
Oh, exciting.
Oh,
yes.
Exciting. Maybe she get a kick out of that.
Yes.
Seeing that portfolio add up. All right. What's one thing you wish they taught in the youth in school?
Financial literacy, you know, understanding where how money works. I would say the biggest thing is, you know, when kids are getting ready to go to college and they know what kind of lifestyle that they want. I know this is supposed to be quick, but this is not going to be quick.
No, this is not quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know what kind of lifestyle that you want to live. You need to choose a profession to be able to accommodate the lifestyle that you want. So, so when we're getting people are saying, oh, you better go to college, get a degree in what? You know, like I have an accounting degree. My husband has an accounting degree. You know, there's jobs, you know, accounting degree, be an accountant. Engineering, you could be an engineer. Nursing degree, you could be a nurse. So nothing against like history majors and things like that. But, I don't know how much you can make with the history degree. You probably have to have a master's degree or something like that. So now, but you still want to drive a Mercedes, live in a big house, but you know, that degree, the jobs might only be $30,000 a year or $40,000 a year, but you want to buy all these different things. So I think you need to figure out, of course we want to do what we want to do and what we're passionate about, but like when the youth, they're deciding they're going to college. I mean, community college here in Michigan is free. I mean, you can literally get you can start 2 years
of free
school, and then you can transfer, and then you just saved yourself money. So I mean, you can utilize that, or maybe you don't know what you want to do, so you're still trying to figure it out. Let's figure it out for free at a community college. There is nothing wrong with community colleges. I'm a huge advocate for community colleges. I mean, it is a great resource that people should be able to utilize if you're still trying to figure things out, because you might not know what you want to do. But definitely, you know, I'm an advocate for education. I mean, I know what it has done for me, what it's done for my family. But again, you can still make it without it. But if that's the route that you want to go, make sure that degree is hooked onto the job. I don't want you go $100,000 in student loan debt, and you work in a job that's somebody
$16 an hour.
Yeah, so that's what you think. Yeah. I don't want that for people. So I want you to think about if you know that you want to make a certain amount of money a year, you need to do some research. How much does this career, how much do they make? How much education do I need? Some jobs you have to have a master's degree, so you know that you're gonna have to go into that. So I just want the youth to think about that when they're making the decision to go to college. Is this degree going to equate to a job?
So basically, she wants you guys to financial literacy.
Yes.
Make sure the degree, what you're going to school for, is going to pay for your lifestyle. So those are some of the things that she wish the youth knew before, traveling into adulthood, right?
Exactly. Definitely.
So thank you for that, Kelly. And we're going to end the podcast with this one question. What is the worst financial advice you received, becoming into Keli?
I would say money will solve all your problems. Because it won't. It won't.
I love it.
It won't. I mean, people think, if I'm going through all of this stuff, if I had more money, all my problems will be solved. And that is absolutely not the case. Because when you're thinking about your money habits, I mean, if you make more money and if you don't change your habits, you're going to spend more money. So you're going to just keep that up. I mean, look at these multi-millionaires, these celebrities, all this money that has ran through their hands, and they're broke.
They're still,
and it's because they're not educated. They're not educated
when it comes to financial literacy. Yeah. So I agree with her. I believe the worst financial advice I received is none. My grandmother always told me, "Poor today, rich tomorrow." In her terms, you might not have it today, but you don't know what tomorrow will bring. I love and I hate that statement, because she taught me to not value money. Because if you always worried about tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, you're not living. But to just blow everything today, thinking that it's gonna fall out the sky tomorrow, was not good advice. And that's how I lived my life. Literally, I up until now I'm very, very financial aware of what I spend. But just in the past, that statement, blow a check and get it right back, is literally my motto. Like, I will blow a check today, and tomorrow I'll be like, okay, I'll get it back. It's okay.
Wow. I never heard that one before.
I promise you, that's how I live my life. And, you know, it taught me not to value money. Like most people, that's how they determine their loyalty is by how much money you make or what you can bring to the table and things like that. And I don't look at people finances as because that's their money. I never understood how other people can calculate your money.
Oh,
or you know what I mean? Like, she's my friend. She got money, so she's my friend. Like, yeah, I got money. Where's yours?
Right.
So yeah, I might treat you every now and then. We might go have a glass of wine, but I want to be treated too. So please come with your own bag to the relationship. But that was one thing my grandmother taught me, and I wish she just would have added a little bit more to it. Thank you, Granny. I love you. Yeah, but
no, I get it.
For today, rich tomorrow.
No, I get it. And see, we didn't talk about money in my household either. I actually learned from, so I used to work for a law firm, and they actually kind of gave me some financial literacy, you know, from that. Because look, when I was growing up, I'd see my mom break out her checkbook, write a check. I'm like, oh, it's easy. You go to the store, just write a check. That's it. Swipe a card, write a check. I never saw her pull out any money. And so I thought that, oh, that's how you pay for things.
Kelly, right now to this day, I still don't know. My grandma didn't work. I still have no idea where she got her money from. All I knew is she had mink coats. We shopped at these fancy stores. She went to the grocery store daily. And, you know, it took me a really long time to get this mentality out, you know, my mind, because I just, you know, everybody always say, you know, you grew up in the projects. We grew up in the projects, but I didn't think we were poor. You know, it's a underprivileged neighborhood. But I always thought I was rich because my grandmother lived a rich lifestyle.
Wow.
How? I don't know.
Look.
I don't know, but she did it. And so even as an adult, guys, I worked ever since I was probably like 13 years old. I did what I wanted to do with my money. I've been living on my own since I was 18. I did what I wanted to do with my money, and my grandmother paid my rent.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she never worked?
Never worked. So now, once she left this world and I had to figure it out, it took me a really long time to figure it out that money just don't fall from the sky.
Well, I mean,
and that's the thing, you know? Yeah, so I appreciate this time you spent it with me. Everything was just so inspirational, very enlightening. I hope you guys were listening, because I was. Is there anything that you want to leave with my listeners today?
Start today.
Start today.
Like if you've been thinking about, I need to save, I need to invest, why not now? Like,
why not now?
Take action. This is a call for action. I want to see more people investing and saving for themselves. Start paying yourself first. You know, I mean, I know you may have just got paid on Friday, or you might about to get paid this coming Friday. Pay yourself first. I mean, you work hard. You deserve to have some of the fruits of your labor. It shouldn't go to everywhere. As soon as you get your check, it goes up, and then what are you left with?
You waiting on next week. You live in paycheck to paycheck. That's not financial freedom.
No.
And I really want us to have that. So I'm going to take the necessary steps. I hope you guys take the necessary steps after this episode. It's going to be posted on all major platforms after today. Before we go, I do want to give my girl something, because she left it out. She recently did graduate. So before I give her gift, I want her to share what her degree is in, and we're going to just congratulate her. Congratulations, Keli.
Oh, thank you. So literally, I just got my master's in taxation. So definitely, want to be more, do more strategy around taxes, tax planning. I think that's going to be key to everyone and to the clients that I want to serve. So, I know that there's this big joke about, the person that's in office right now, that he only paid $750 in taxes. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, that sounds good. Yep. And so that's what I want. That's what I want to be able to do for my clients, to be able to help them. Let's plan the things out so you don't have to pay a lot of taxes. So that's my goal. So that's why I went and got my master's in it.
Congratulations,
Thank
sis.
you.
That is from you, from us, from Let's Talk About It with Catrice K.
Thank you.
Please enjoy on your leisure.
I will. What is it? Oh, it's wine.
Yes.
I love me some wine.
Okay. Yes, baby. Yes, while you sitting doing them numbers, I want you to have a little sip.
Oh, thank you.
So, guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of Let's Talk About It with Catrice K. We have spent time with my lovely friend, talented, amazing, and very educated Miss Keli. We had talked all things money. I really hope you got the gems that she was putting down, because I did, honey. So I want you to start saving and stop stressing.